Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, are you ready for Arsenal versus Manchester City? Last time Arsenal got absolutely robbed as Trossard was sent off, but this time I assure you we are finally going to get our revenge. I cannot wait, because this Sunday, Manchester City are going to get absolutely humbled.
Hey, humble, eh?
Yes, this is a new series, Premier League Predictions, where I'm going to be predicting every single game of the Premier League this weekend. Starting with Arsenal versus Manchester City. And if you can't already tell, I am of course going to predict Arsenal to win. I don't care if they beat Chelsea last week. Manchester City are absolutely atrocious. And this weekend is not going to be pretty whatsoever for these bozos. I have never been more confident facing Man City than this weekend. I honestly think we could win by 3 or 4, they're that bad. But we also have no good forwards, so I have to be a bit pessimistic. Without Saka, our attacking options are genuinely diabolical. Kai Havertz is an actual donkey, and Gabriel Martinelli is a dog fresh from the drug cartels of Peru. And don't get me started on Raheem Big Batty Sterling, man. But despite how bad our attack is without Saka, we are still considerably better than Man City right now. So we will win this game. I'm saying 2-0 to Arsenal. Saliba and Gabriel will lock up Haaland again, with Rice and Trossard scoring. Next up, we got Nottingham Forest facing Brighton. Now Nottingham Forest are third, but they also got battered 5-0 by Bournemouth last week, which is simply embarrassing. Whereas Brighton lost at home to Everton, which might be even more embarrassing. I see this one being a close game. Genuinely, anything could happen in this match. Personally, I think Forest are the favourites, and with the likes of Chris Wood, Gibbs White and Ante Elanga having great seasons, I think they'll have enough to win this one. So I'm gonna say Forest win this 1-0. Gibbs White to score the only goal. Now, Brentford versus Tottenham. Tottenham are the most diabolical, hopeless, deplorable bunch of CTE-riddled bozos in the Premier League right now. How can you claim to be a big club when you're currently in 15th? They just lost at home to Leicester flipping City. They have 1 win in their last 11 Premier League matches. And they have less points after 23 games this season than they did after 10 matches last season. How is that even possible? And that stat is going to change to 24 games after this weekend's game against Brentford. Because there is no way they are winning this game. I do not care how many injuries they have. 24 points after 23 games is genuinely inexcusable. They have 13 losses this season. That's the same as Ipswich. Only 3 teams have more losses. How Ange has not been sacked yet, I will never know. Meanwhile, Brentford are one of the best teams at home this season. Only Arsenal and Liverpool have more points at home this year. And no team has as many goals as them. And I can't lie, with Tottenham's defence as open as it is, this one could get nasty. Burma is 100,000% scoring. And I'm going to predict a 2-1 Brentford win. Because as bad as Tottenham are, they only ever lose by 1 goal somehow. Other than that 6-3 against Liverpool. Speaking of Liverpool, Bournemouth versus Liverpool. Now this one is interesting, because right now Liverpool are comfortably top of the league, but Bournemouth are the most informed team. With half their team injured, they went away to Newcastle and won 4-1, and then they faced third place Forest at home and won 5-0. They have goals coming from everywhere. Semenyo, Kluivert and Utara have all been on fire this season. On the other hand, Liverpool haven't been as good recently as they were for the first half of the season. They are still the best team in the league right now, but draws with Forest and Man United show that they aren't unstoppable. So with Bournemouth in such great form and Liverpool not at their absolute best right now, I'm gonna back Bournemouth. And I'm going to say they'll win 2-0. Because why not? And one of those goals will be a Kluivert penalty. Hey yo, you absolute bozo! Why haven't you liked the video yet? Make sure to absolutely bukkake that like button. And subscribe whilst you're at it. Thank you. Then we have Newcastle hosting Fulham. Newcastle have won 10 of their last 11 games, with their one blip being that 4-1 loss to Bournemouth. And Alexander Isak is in the form of his flipping life. This guy is scoring goals left, right and centre. And looking at Newcastle's fixtures, they absolutely have to win this game. They've got City and Liverpool away, as well as Nottingham Forest in their next 3 games. 3 teams currently above them in the table. So to give themselves some leeway in the top 4 race, this game is a must win. But Fulham are not an easy game. Yes, they did just lose to Manchester United. And yes, they have only won 3 of their last 12 matches. But they are a difficult team to break down, and have got some attacking threat with the likes of Jimenez and Iwobi. But I do think they'll lose this one. It won't be light work for Newcastle, but I'll back them to win 3-1. Now we have 2 big games in the relegation battle. Everton versus Leicester and Ipswich versus Southampton. If Everton can beat Leicester, I would say they're effectively safe. Under David Moyes, they do look a lot better in my opinion, and they can even go above Tottenham with a win. Whilst Leicester are absolutely flipping hopeless. Yes, they beat Tottenham, but they have lost 11 of their last 15 games. That is unbelievably tragic. They're so bad, it's unreal. The fact they're not in the relegation zone right now is bewildering. That being said, if they did manage to draw against Everton, I would not be surprised whatsoever. Maybe a 0-0 or a 1-1, but I will predict Everton to win. Let's go over conservative 1-0 for the Toffees. Now, when it comes to Ipswich versus Southampton, I don't know if I've even got anything positive to say about this game. What I can say is Southampton 100% will not win. Honestly, these guys might break the record of being the worst team in Premier League history. Every time they play, I expect them to concede at least 3 goals. But Ipswich have only scored 3 goals once all season. and they lost that game 4-3. I think we all know both of these teams are going down. Ipswich have far more hope than Southampton, and by winning this game they will probably escape the relegation zone. But let's be real, we all know they're going to end up back there soon anyway. But I will actually predict them to score 3 in a 3-1 home win with Delap scoring 2 goals. Wolves versus Aston Villa is usually an interesting game. They have a relatively big rivalry, so anything could happen in this one. Besides the fact that Wolves are absolutely terrible, so any sane person would predict a Villa win. Other than Cunha, Wolves do not excite me whatsoever. And it says a lot that these bozos are in a relegation battle with the absolute bums that are Southampton, Leicester and Ipswich. Surely they'll have enough quality to not get flipping relegated ahead of one of those teams, man. But like I say, they won't win this game. Villa haven't been at their best this season, but they won't lose to Wolves. Maybe Wolves can sneak a draw, but I'm gonna back Villa to grab a 2-0 away win, with Rodgers and Watkins both scoring. Now we have a boring mid-table clash between Manchester United and Crystal Palace. Earlier in the season, this ended 0-0, where Martinez somehow didn't get sent off for this. And then he did the same thing in their last game against Fulham and didn't get sent off again. When I say this is a mid-table battle, I am not joking whatsoever. This is literally 12th versus 13th, and they both have a negative 4 goal difference as well. Manchester United have failed to win their last 3 games against Crystal Palace, so I would say that Palace are the favourites for this one. And they have only lost 3 of their last 15 matches, whilst United have lost 7 in that same period. But I think Manchester United may actually turn up in this game and maybe get a draw, only if they can perform to their best. Otherwise, it could be another embarrassing 3-0 home loss. But I will predict a 1-1 in this game. Bruno and Sarr both to score. And finally for this game week, we have Chelsea at home to West Ham. In the away game, they won 3-0, where Nicholas Jackson morphed into Michael Jackson. In this game, Graham Potter is returning to face his former club. I don't really know what to expect because West Ham are just really bad, and Chelsea are in pretty poor form right now. But I think it would be diabolical not to predict a Chelsea win, so I probably have to, unfortunately. So I will say Chelsea 2, West Ham 1. And that West Ham goal will be a late consolation because Chelsea are going to absolutely dominate this one. I don't know if he'll score 2, but Cole Palmer will get at least 1 of the Chelsea goals. But also, I can't speak on Chelsea without talking about this absolute bambling bozo Robert Sanchez. Which imbecile decided to sign this guy? And why does he keep playing? After last season, I thought we realised this guy was expired and had to be exiled from the Premier League forever. But apparently, Maresca thinks he's good enough to keep on playing. I thought Kepa was bad, but I don't think I've ever seen a goalkeeper as bad as this guy. How have these guys spent over $1 billion, but still have this egregious excuse of a goalkeeper in net? In fact, I refuse to call a guy who keeps letting the ball stupidly go past him a goalkeeper. He's so bad that West Ham might actually have a chance if he plays. But I'm going to trust Chelsea not to play him and stick with my 2-1 prediction. But before we finish the video, I'm also going to predict Liverpool's game in hand against Everton this week. Now, I know you're all going to say I hate Liverpool because I predicted Bournemouth to beat them, but trust me, I'm going to be reasonable with this one. This is the final Merseyside derby at Everton Stadium on a midweek nighttime game. The fans are going to be up for it. Liverpool are going to be coming off back-to-back losses, whilst Everton are coming off 3 wins in a row. I think you know where I'm going with this one. Just like last season, 2-0 Everton. Watch. And no, stop moaning, I don't hate Liverpool. Other than Arsenal, out of the big 6 teams, Liverpool are my favourite. I hate Tottenham, I hate Chelsea, I hate Man City. Man United, I kind of feel bad hating because they're so bad, but I don't like them. Whereas I actually like Liverpool as a club. It's just unfortunate for you that you're in a title race with the mighty Arsenal. And if I have to be the one who's going to tell you that you're going to lose that title race, then so be it. Don't shoot the messenger and keep crying. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to like, share, and subscribe, G. Let me know what your thoughts on my predictions are. Let me know what your predictions are in the comment section below. And tell me if you enjoyed this video. If you want this to stay as a consistent series, man, I could do this every week before every Premier League game if you guys enjoyed this. So, yeah, man. In a bit.